fractured her jaw.
So she was incapacitated for a while.
Yes, I don't remember how
And it was
long.
the roommate's fault.
Correct.
And what was the settlement that you agreed to?
In lieu of taking a $20,000 settlement at the time, I opted to set up a structured settlement because it would pay more money because I guess they invest it. So therefore I set up payments for 4 years starting last year. So the first payment came last year for $61.40, and then another payment came this year, and then there's 2 more payments of that, and then the final payment of $10,000 in the year 2010.
So about $35,000.
Correct.
Good. Now, that's in addition to all of the expenses, to all the medical expenses that she had. Is that right? Those were paid.
She did not have medical insurance on her car insurance, so they only pay it
Introducing
with the final
ClickUp
payment
Super
of the settlement.
Agents, the
So who
world's
paid the
first
medical
AI
payments?
agents
I
that
paid.
natively collaborate with humans.
To all the medical expenses that she had.
There's some bills.
Is that right?
and
Those
then
were paid.
She did not have
Not
medical
bills. I
insurance
wanna
on
see
her
the
car
payments.
insurance, so they only pay it
Introducing
with the
see the
final
payments.
payment
Super
of the
Agents,
settlement.
the
So
world's
who paid the
first
medical
AI
payments?
agents
I did.
that
I paid.
natively
Show me,
collaborate
show me a
with
paid
humans.
bill. Do you have all the medical expenses that
Are
she
any of
had?
those
Some
bills
bills.
Is that
marked
right?
paid?
Those were paid.
She did not have
Not
medical
bills.
insurance
I wanna
on
see
her
the
car
payments.
insurance, so they only pay it
So you don't have
with
a
the final
paid bill
payment
for
of
any
the
of the
settlement.
bills.
The
So who
world's
paid
first
the
AI
$19.89?
agents
I did.
that
And you don't have any
natively
cancelled
collaborate
checks.
Show me
with
if that's
humans.
right. So what you're
Do you have
telling
all
me
the
is
medical
in
expenses?
2000,
Are
any of those
Some
bills
bills
marked
are
when
paid.
your daughter gets your
She did not
final
have medical
payment?
insurance
I
on
want to
her
see
car
the
insurance, so they only
doctors.
pay it
So you
with
don't have
the
the
final
payments
payment
for
of
any
the
of the
settlement.
bills.
No.
The world's
So who
first
paid the
AI
$19.89?
agents
I did.
that
And you don't have any
natively
cancelled
collaborate
checks.
Show
with
me if
humans.
that's right. So what you're
Do you have
telling
all
me
the
is
medical
in
expenses?
2000, any of those bills marked when your daughter gets your
She did not have
final
medical
payment.
insurance
I
on
want to
her
see the
car
paid
insurance, so they only pay it
So you don't have the payments for any of the bills.
No.
Just a second. Let's get to
I
this.
did.
And you're already
Natively
cancelled
collaborate
checks. Show me if that's right. So what you're telling me is in 2000, any of those bills marked when your daughter gets your final payment. You take it to the paid doctors. So you don't have the payments for any of the bills. Just a second. Let's get to this. And you're already cancelled checks. Show me if that's right. So what you're telling me is in 2000, any of those bills marked when your daughter gets your final payment. You take it to the paid doctors. So you don't have the payments for any of the bills. Just a second. Let's get to this. And you're already cancelled checks. Show me if that's right.
Expenses.
I don't believe you. I believe you stiffed the doctors.
Natively collaborate
Show me if that's right. So what you're telling me is in 2000, any of those bills marked when your daughter gets your final payment. I want to see the paid doctors. So you don't have the payments for any of the bills. So who paid the $19.89? And you're already cancelled checks. Show me if that's right. So what you're telling me is in 2000, any of those bills marked when your daughter gets your...
Angela claims her mother is trying to cash in on her injuries.
So anybody can have bills. The paid bills show that you've paid the bills. Then I would consider them.
And the checks were to be made out to both of us to compensate for both of us according to that judgment up there. The checks are to be made out to Angela Weidinger and, at that time, Deborah
Yes, it says
Escott.
that they're going to be made out to both of you. So I want you to explain to me why you're entitled to any of this money. She was the one that was injured.
She was injured, yes. I also took time off work. I was off work, I know, for at least 2 weeks.
Show me. Show me that you took 2 weeks off from work.
This is in 1989, 90.
What were you doing in 1989?
I was a bill collector.
For whom?
Central Hardware
Central Hardware where?
in Bridgeton, Missouri.
Is that where you still live?
I live in the same vicinity, yes.
Good. So why didn't you call them up and say, I need your payroll records to
They
show
know-
that I took 2 weeks off from work to
They
take
no
care of my
longer
daughter?
exist.
What?
They no longer exist. Central Hardware is no longer in existence.
Let's say you were working for Central Hardware and making $200 a week in 1989, maybe. That's $400. That's not $3,000. You aren't making $1,500 a week,
Oh, no.
are you? No. And you think you're entitled to half of all of this money, right?
Correct.
You're not. You're not. You signed this stipulation of settlement on behalf of your daughter. That money belongs to her. Period. End of discussion.
Then why would my name be on the check?
Because that's the way this judge signed the order. It's muddled. But just because you bear the title of mother doesn't mean you're entitled to any money. That doesn't sound fair, does it? That doesn't sound reasonable to you, does it? Just because you are her mother doesn't mean that you're entitled to profit from her injury, especially
It was not
when
profit.
you are profiting from her injury. If what you want is half of $34,000, you are profiting from her injury.
I had medical expenses that exceeded over $4,000.
And I'm going to tell you something, madam. You may have medical expenses that exceeded almost $4,000. I don't believe you paid them. And if you can produce paid bills from any of these doctors, you have the right to reschedule this case. But today was your day to come into court with proof. And you came to court with no proof. You came to court with bills that were still unpaid according to the bills. Because on the bottom, I can guarantee you, it says, please remit. Right?
Correct.
Please remit means that there's still money owed. So, if I'm wrong, produce a paid bill from half of those people. But if you can't, then how can you justify taking half of your daughter's money?
The same thing I just told you about the $4,000. I've only taken
Listen, let's say a month from now you can produce bills for me for $4,000.
Correct.
I doubt it, because you're not going to be able to. But let's say you can. Why do you think you're entitled to $17,000?
I only kept $3,000.
So is what you're saying that you don't intend to keep half of the rest of the checks? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Until my bills-
You're questioning. That's a question. It is what you're saying. You only want to be reimbursed for what you spent out of pocket, and the rest of the money you intend to turn over to your daughter, and the most you've spent so far, according to you, which I don't believe, is $4,000.
Correct.
Fine. Then, right now, I am issuing a provisional judgment for your daughter in the amount of $3,000, which means you're going to turn over that $3,000 to her in 30 days. You have 30 days to send into the court paid bills from those people, from the doctor, the hospital, whoever else was involved. And if you can do that, then I will rescind the order. Is that fair?
Yes. Can I say something?
Yes, I just want to know if you think that that's fair.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
I also found another in the statement or the settlement. It says that when it was settled, there was $9,166 that was paid, and of that sum, $6,666.66 will be paid to my attorney, and $2,500 will be paid to me for Angela's benefit. I know that the $2,500 is to be used only for Angela's benefit, and I will deposit that sum in a restricted account. I further understand that the balance will be held.
Can I see that? Can I see
Yes.
what you're reading from that one?
And I've never seen any of this money either. So that could...
Can I see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This you didn't give me. This says that at the time you signed this agreement, you got a check for $9,166. $6,666 was paid to your attorney, and $2,500 was paid to you for Angela's benefit. And you were directed to deposit that money in a restricted bank account. And I further understand, you signed this, that the balance will be held and invested for Angela's use. What'd you do with the money?
I put her through braces.
As a mother, I would think that that's...
Shh. You have a bill for the braces?
No, but she did have braces, which I made payments on.
Well, when did she have braces?
I believe she got them when she was 10 or 11.
Well, a lot of kids get braces, madam, that have absolutely nothing to do with an accident. Most of my children had braces. They were never in a car accident.
She had fractured her jaw, and when she fractured her jaw, it positioned it backwards.
You have proof of that?
Did she fracture her jaw?
No.
Oh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I hate to do this, but I have to. Could I see it?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Weidinger says her mother, Deborah Povis, stole her settlement check from an accident when she was 4 years old. Angela claims her mother is trying to cash in on her injuries.
Okay, I've heard you, and I've heard what you're saying, which is now memorialized, that you do not intend to take any more of your daughter's money, that you intend to endorse the remainder of the checks over to her that she's going to be receiving in the coming years. That the only thing in question is the $3,000 that you kept from this year's settlement check, and that you are going to provide the court within 30 days of paid bills. If you do that, your daughter has acknowledged that any money that you were out of pocket as a result of this accident should be reimbursed to you, right?
Right.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000 to be held for 30 days. That's all. Thank you.
Party are excused. You may step out.
With everything that's gone on in the past 20 years of my life, it's just been ridiculous, so I thought it was finally time to bring it into law.
We've had a rocky relationship.
Since I was 8, I've been in and out of her house, living with my grandparents, living with my aunt.
She's never lived per se with my parents. She stayed with them briefly.
I moved out at 17 and have been supporting myself since then.
She did move out on her own when she was 17.
Me and her have never really gotten along as mother and daughter.
I'm hoping that now this is over with, it's done with, that we can both move on with our lives.
I don't see a relationship at all.
Maybe try to make a bridge.
I really want nothing to do with that side of the family.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Doheny versus Cephas, step forward.
20-year-old student Kevin Doheny is suing commission consultant Donna Cephas and her son, 16-year-old Keith Cephas, for the cost of a cover for his Cobra Mustang. Kevin says Keith burned a hole into it when he flicked his cigarette.
Mr. Doheny, it is your claim that Mrs. Cephas's son, your first name? Keith, was smoking and was careless, burned a hole in your car cover, and I assume that that is the car cover in there.
Correct.
And it's a small hole, is that right?
A cigarette hole.
You want him to pay for a new car cover.
Absolutely.
And Mrs. Cephas says, first, it was an act of God, the wind blew the cigarette, and second, you can get a kit to patch it. So why buy a whole new car cover when all it is a patch?
Correct.
I know, I hate to do this, but I have to. Could I see it?
Yes.
How big is that car cover?
It's for a Ford Mustang Cobra. It covers the whole car.
Is that your
My
pet
pride
car?
and joy.
Could
Yes,
I
it is.
see that? I know somebody else who keeps their car covered. I could never understand that. You got to take it off and get into the car and then put it on. I understand. Had you just purchased this?
Yes, ma'am, I did. A month prior.
Can I see the bill, please? Okay. And he's a friend of yours, is that right?
Yeah, I tutored him in school. Okay. And I would help him out work on his car and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's the $169.95.
Okay. Ta-da! Say something.
Tell me what happened. Okay. Well, what happened was I was standing outside. I just finished a cigarette and I went to go flick it. I flicked it like that way. His car was over here, and the wind took the cigarette like literally over my head and landed on the car cover. And then I seen it land on the car cover, so I flicked it off. And then I didn't realize it was going to make a burn hole in it. And then next day, while I was in school, he calls me and tells me that I burned a hole in his car cover.
So?
And he wanted me to buy him a new car cover.
So?
I told him that I had a patch kit and I would come look at the hole to see how bad it was.
He doesn't want it patched. He wants it the way it was before you flicked your cigarette. Do you have anything you want to say, Mrs. Cephas?
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand that, you know, he did burn the hole, but, I mean, it's not like he literally went up and burned the hole. I mean, he flicked the cigarette, you know, the wind
He was careless.
took it.
He was careless.
Yes.
He was careless.
Right, but I mean, he didn't purposely do it, but he did say, I will try to fix it. He's not avoiding his responsibility.
He can
He's
fix
saying,
it.
The patch, yeah, you can with those vinyl, the little vinyl kits, because we had patched other vinyl. We had a roof.
He doesn't want a patch.
I understand, but I really don't feel as though we should have to pay for a brand new one if it can be fixed. He didn't even try. He just out and out said, no, I want a brand new one. You could fix it. You could take it yourself. Well, I don't want a cover.
Well, you just bought yourself a cover. You just bought yourself a cover. Let's say you saved up for a very long time to buy yourself a very special leather coat. And some stranger negligently cut a hole in the coat. Small hole. You just spent $500 on this leather coat that you had been lusting over. And they said, gee, I'm so sorry. I was careless and I'm so sorry. I'm going to get a patch kit. So you can patch it. You say, I don't want a patch kit. I just bought this brand new leather coat. Why should I patch it when it could split? It may not split today, it'll split tomorrow, or it'll split next month, or 6 months from now is perfectly good. Why would I want to accept something that's second rate? You got it?
Yes.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $169.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Order, all rise. Yes, case number 365 on the calendar in the matter of Pantupo versus Montanez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Pantupo, it is your claim that Ms. Montanez assaulted you during a road rage incident.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Montanez said she never touched you. Tell me where and when this happened.
On September 4th, 2004, me and my boyfriend, Michael Cheney, picked up my 16-year-old brother, and we were on our way to lunch.
Stop playing with your papers.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now tell me what happened with the defendant.
I was in the middle lane trying to make a left turn into the shopping center where the restaurant is located on. And then I noticed a truck behind me, a dark blue Ford F-150. Miss Montanez was the driver of the truck, kept honking constantly at me, but I wasn't going to go because I wasn't going to get into a wreck. And then when I finally made the turn, she came really fast right after me, and I thought she was going to hit me. The front of her bumper was like right by my driver's side door. And my window was down at the time, and we exchanged a few profanities.
Who said what first?
I said, "What the?" And she started screaming all kinds of bad words at me. And then she reached into my car, grabbed me by my hair, and I felt a couple of punches, and I felt as if she was trying to pull me out of my car by my hair. My boyfriend saw that, and he said, "What is your F problem?" And then he got out of the car, ran around my car. Then Miss Montana saw him coming toward her, so she ran back to her truck. And then my boyfriend then made the 911 call with the tech number, which I have the 911 transcript.
May I see it, please? Okay. Now, after she got back into the car, what did she do?
She parked on the front of the coin laundry and took out her laundry basket as if nothing happened. I was going to start doing her laundry. And I was really shocked at the time. And then my boyfriend got back in the car, and then I can see the other two passengers in her truck, which is that lady and a man in the late 20s or early 30s in her passenger seat. I can see them trying to motion her back in the truck like it's not safe to be here anymore. And then they drove off, and I was so mad after I realized what happened to me. I start following them into the parking lot. And after I followed them to a quarter mile, my boyfriend is still on the 911 call at this time. He told me, he said, "It's okay, it's okay."
Okay, I got it. Now, did you seek medical treatment at any time for your injuries?
Yes.
Do you have a doctor's report?
No, I couldn't get in touch with him.
Okay. Tell me the way you felt.
I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't lay on my left side because my head was hurting really bad, and I get the severe headaches.
How long did that last?
I would say a little bit over a week, and I couldn't go to work for a week because of it.
Okay, Miss Montanez, you want to tell me your version of the events, please?
We were on Singleton Road. It was my daughter's birthday that day, and I had to go to the laundromat to pick up some laundry. And there was a lot of cars going by at the moment,
when I stopped behind her, and I could see down because my truck is up high, and I could see down, and you could hear their music because it was kind of a warm day, and our windows were down, and I saw her talking to some individual, the passenger in the car, but I figured she just got caught up in her music, like all teenagers, and talking, so I honked my horn.
She's not a teenager.
Well, she looked like one at the time, but she was having a conversation. I honked my horn to let her know to go. She got mad. She stuck her hand out the window and did a profanity and called me an F and B. So I turned in before her into the shop.
Just a second. So what you did is you went around her.
Correct.
Keep going.
I pulled in front of her, and then I made the left turn and parked right in front of the laundromat because there's like an island right there where you can park. I got out of the truck. We started arguing, cursing at each other and everything, and my sister got out of the truck, and I was just like, ugh, I don't have time to deal with this, because I thought they were teenagers. So I turned around and was going to go in the laundromat, didn't even make it in the laundromat, and I heard my sister screaming, April, April, come on. And I turned around. When I turned around, I saw her boyfriend with rings in his nose, and just the way he looked, it scared me like a skinhead, and I'm like, oh my God, let's get in the car. So I jump in the truck. When I'm getting in the truck, she has her mace gun. We have a 14-day-old baby in the truck. It was myself, the baby, and then my sister. She's going through the window and she's doing all like this, but for some oddball reason, the mace had stuck. And my sister's rushing to roll the window up in case she did unstick it. And I said, oh my God, Stephanie, let's go. This is crazy. I can't believe this. I put my truck in reverse, and I backed out, and I went back the same way I come in. She come behind me and was following me, and I was going at a fast-paced speed to get away from her because it scared me.
When did you call the police?
I didn't call the police.
Right. You're telling me that someone tried to mace you in your car with a little tiny baby in the car, following you, a lunatic, and you never called the police?
Well, Your Honor, the reason why I didn't call the police is because I saw her boyfriend. When I was coming back to my truck, he was talking to the 911 officer.
Now, why would you,
write her tag number down.
you think they would call 911, and at the time they called the police, this is what they reported. They didn't know the person, got mad when they were making a turn into PL. She started screaming, went around, got out, and hit the female in the face and pulled her hair while screaming at the female. He didn't say they're having a screaming match, didn't say anybody took out mace. Said, my girlfriend got punched in the face and got her hair pulled, and we don't know who this person is.
And the reason why I didn't call at the time, Your Honor, I did not have my cell phone. I was just nervous, and I was ready to get out of there.
Very good. Now, what?
I have a police report from this incident, and she told a totally different story.
Can I see the police report, please?
To the police. It's a totally different story.
You want to speak? You want to be very careful about what you say. You're the sister, right? Mm-hmm. You're the reason that they didn't follow up and press charges because you confirmed her story. Is that right? Mm-hmm. I want to tell you something. I'm smarter than the police. So you want to risk it? Get up. We understand each other? That requires an answer, yes or no? Yes. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you choose to stand up and testify, or would you like to remain in your seat?
I like to testify.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She beeped the horn. They had music.
How many times did she beep the horn?
It was like 2 or 3 times for her to go.
2 or 3 times. Your sister told me she beeped the horn only once.
And later today,
I accepted the gift if he would stop doing drugs and drinking. He did not.
You were better off without opening your mouth. You were better off just standing there and looking gorgeous.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Pierapon Pontupo says she was assaulted in a parking lot by fellow motorist April Montanez. Pierapon says April tried to pull her out of her car by her hair.
Your name?
Stephanie.
You have a last name?
Imes.
You want to tell me the story?
It's pretty much what my sister said.
It's pretty much what your sister said?
We were going to Kroger's. She was in front of my sister. It was busy coming traffic. She beeped the horn. They had music.
How many times did she beep the horn?
It was like 2 or 3 times for her to go.
2 or 3 times? Your sister told me she beeped the horn only once.
It was like 2 or 3 times for her to go, like a rapid beep for her to go.
So it was 2 or 3 times, but it was like 1 time because it was so fast.
Yeah, it's like a rapid beep.
Right. Okay.
So they had the music going. She beeped the horn. She leaned out of the car. She flicked her off and said some stuff, some cuss words. My sister went ahead because no cars were coming. She went in front of the lady. The car came in behind us. We turned to go towards the laundromat. My sister parked next to the little island. The laundromat is right across from the car. My sister got out of the car. They were arguing back and forth, cussing at each other. Then my sister, I kind of stood out to hear what was going on. My sister walked into the laundromat. I got back in the truck.
Did she carry anything into the laundromat?
I think she had some...
Just a second. Look at me. Did she carry anything into the laundromat?
Yes.
What did she take out of the car?
It was some outfits, I guess. Yes.
Were the outfits in a basket?
No. No.
No basket?
No.
Just things in her hand? Now, what were you going to the laundromat for?
To pick up some clothes, and I think she had to dry clean the clothes that she had for the party. But at the time that I was waiting for my sister, this female came up to the truck as I got back in. She had some mace in her hand, and she was trying to...
Was that before or after your sister hit her?
She didn't hit her.
Yes, she did. Sit down.
Your Honor.
Yes, she did. Oh, yes, she did. She hit her, and she pulled her hair. And she was really annoyed. You want to know why I know she was really annoyed? Because she had a 2-week-old baby in the car, and instead of sitting there waiting for traffic to move, she sped up around and went around a car that was waiting to make a left turn and pulled out in front of her. That's something that someone does who has no judgment. And they only do it when they're annoyed.
No, ma'am. I
didn't ask you anything. I listened to you. You know, there's an old expression. If it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Because we've all drivers have been in the same situation that you were in. Sometimes you're behind somebody, and for some reason, they don't make a turn when they're supposed to. The arrow is green, they're waiting, they're talking, they're involved in the phone, they're listening, they're daydreaming, and you're looking and you're saying, that's the only shade of green there's going to be, right? Why isn't this person going? If you have a short fuse, you'll honk the horn a few times, and if that's not successful, you'll peel out, which is what you did. You peeled out with a baby in the car, went around her in order to make a left turn because you thought that there was a clear enough avenue of traffic so that you could make the turn. I believe everything that she says. You had a bad hair day.
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah,
Can
you
I
did.
show you a
And your
disposition
sister
of
got you
hearing?
back into the... Listen to me. And your sister got you back into the car because you both saw the boyfriend on the phone with the police. That's what you just told me. A moment ago you said, I didn't have to call the police because I knew they were calling the police. And if you knew they were calling the police, then you stay there and wait for the police. You don't take off. What you just told me was, I didn't call the police because of this mace, thinking fast, because he was calling the police. And if somebody is calling the police, and if you are a victim of a crime, you remain there with the doors locked, windows up, you don't get out to go and take your clothes into the dry cleaners.
Because none of this took place, Your Honor. We just argued. We had our words.
Madam, I don't
She tried to get me.
Madam, I don't believe you. And I don't believe
can I bring
your sister.
something else to evidence?
Absolutely. Show it to me.
Okay, I have a disposition of a hearing when she tried to file simple battery and simple assault charges, and we went to Gwinnett County courts, and they were dismissed for insufficient evidence as well. Because in the police report, it says that the police officer, there was no physical evidence on the victim other than a few strands of hair that was allegedly pulled out by the suspect.
Listen to me, madam. She's not saying you broke her skin.
But there would have been swelling or something for the officer. This never took place, Your Honor.
I'm telling you, it took place, madam.
It didn't.
Listen, because you got over on a cop, and because you got over perhaps on a district attorney, you and your sister, who wouldn't know the truth if it came up and slapped her in the face, doesn't mean that I have to believe you. Your story doesn't make sense. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I insulted her race. She insulted mine. She told me she was going to get me.
Defendants, it's worse than a piece of dog
if you would have saw her boyfriend, like 6 foot tall, earrings, a dragon tattoo on his neck.
He's 6'2", but he also weighed as much as she does, which is they both weighed 185 pounds.
I was just in a rush to get out of there because in Atlanta, people have been shot by road rage.
It just says she's a lying.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ortega versus Gutierrez. Step forward.
Computer technician Netza Ortega is suing his ex-girlfriend, 26-year-old customer service rep Maribel Gutierrez, for unpaid loans to get her hair done and for the return of a promise ring.
Oh, Mr. Ortega. The romance is over. You want your jewelry back, and you want some money that you loaned to the defendant while you were together.
That's correct.
Ms. Gutierrez says you often gave her money. There was never any mention of a payback. And the jewelry you want back were gifts that you made to her, and you're not entitled to them back.
I feel that it's entitled back to me because they were actually a symbol of a relationship.
All right, let's take the simple ones first. The loan. When do you claim, and what year did you make her the loan?
June of this year, and it was to get her hair done, and it was for $50.
What's next, Mr. Ortega?
After that, it was another loan for $50 to get her hair done.
Get over it, Mr.
And then after that, it was another $40, and that was
to get her nails done.
No.
Manicure, pedicure.
No, that was actually
facial,
to get her
leg wax, whatever.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let's get to the jewelry.
Okay, the jewelry was given to her in April.
Did she go shopping with you for the jewelry?
No.
You went by yourself?
I went by myself.
And you went to a store and you picked out what kind of jewelry?
A promise ring. It was a butterfly made of diamonds.
And what else?
And then a month later, after I paid off the ring, I got her a matching pendant that went with it.
How much did you pay for all this?
About $325 total.
$325.
Yes.
So we're not exactly talking the Hope Diamond here.
No.
Is that right? Mr. Ortega?
Yes.
Is this your first girlfriend?
No, it's not.
How many girlfriends have you had?
I've had about 4.
Did you buy them gifts?
I bought them gifts.
And then you broke up with them?
Yes.
Did they give you back the gifts?
No, because I didn't ask them for those because there weren't actual agreements. The promise ring was an agreement that we would stay in a monogamous relationship. And now that it's over, I deserve that I should get it back.
Julie, 1 second.
Miss Judy?
Just 1 second. When you gave her the ring, what did you say to her?
I said, this is a promise that we would stay in this relationship.
You made her a promise?
Yes.
That's nice.
and she agreed to take it.
Mr. Ortega.
Yes.
Grow up, sir.
Okay.
You're dying to say something.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
We made a promise that he would stop drinking, doing drugs, and I accepted the gift if he would stop doing drugs and drinking. He did not. Accidentally, I don't know what happened to the gift. It got lost.
Not true.
Listen to me. You were better off without opening your mouth.
Okay.
You were better off just standing there and looking gorgeous. Mr. Ortega.
Yes.
Get over it. Put a period. Move on.
Okay.
If you want a ring that comes back to you, you buy a diamond.
It was
Now,
diamonds.
listen to me. No, not a butterfly.
Diamonds.
Not a butterfly, Mr. Ortega. You buy a single diamond and you have it set in a very nice setting, and then you say, I want you to marry me.
I did.
Listen to me. I'm speaking.
At one point, though, I did.
I'm speaking.
Okay.
Will you marry me? This is an engagement ring.
We weren't
not
engaged.
a promise ring. I don't care if you were engaged or not. Listen, I've gotten engaged without a ring, too. Once or twice.
Okay.
A ring, the solitaire, Mr. Ortega, not a butterfly.
Actually, it was a princess cut.
Bye, Mr. Ortega.
He was using drugs.
I treated her well.
That's case number 399 on the calendar in the matter of Guberman versus Sutton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat.
Miss Guberman, you and Mr. Sutton dated briefly, according to what I read in your complaint, and you no longer see each other socially, but you claim that he owes you for 2 things. First, he owes you for a cruise that the 2 of you went on. You claim that he was supposed to pay you back for his ticket, and he did not. And second, you say that you got into an argument with him and he smashed your cell phone.
Correct.
And who is this?
This is my friend, Monique.
Is this the friend who was supposed to go on the cruise?
No.
Does she know about the cruise?
Yeah.
Ms. Kuberman, when was the cruise, and you were supposed to go with a girlfriend, is that right?
Correct.
When were you supposed to leave?
At the end of November, I think it was, last year.
The questions are going to get harder. That's what this case is about. So let's try to get it together and focus. November of 2003. November what?
About November 17th, approximately. I forget the exact date.
And how long had you been planning this trip with a girlfriend?
Approximately a few months, maybe 3 months.
Who bought the tickets?
I charged it on my credit card.
Why didn't she charge her own ticket?
Oh no, well, we both paid a deposit, but then when she wasn't going...
Just a sec. You were supposed to go with a girlfriend, she backed out. You started to date him, and he went on the cruise instead of the girlfriend who got pregnant. That's the story,
Correct, because I still want to
Okay, just a second. We're going to do this in faster pace because I have other things to do today, Ms. Cooperman. November 17th, 2003, you were supposed to go on a cruise with the girlfriend. She had put a deposit down on her own credit card?
Correct.
How much of a deposit did she put down?
$250.
And how much was the whole cruise?
$1,092 each.
Now, how much had she paid towards the trip?
The $250.
Only?
Only.
She was going to lose that. Is that right?
No, she didn't lose it. The cruise line, they credited her credit card back. And then they charged me the whole, the whole remaining balance for the cruise.
When did you make that arrangement with them? When did she make that arrangement, sir? She's having difficulty. Do you remember?
Well, actually, ma'am, first thing, good morning, ma'am. The cruise was November 30th, to tell you the truth. It wasn't November 17th. The cruise was November 30th. I met her in September. We both made an agreement to be friends before we even went on a cruise.
Tell me about the agreement.
Actually,